everyone, so today I'm going to be reviewing the two products that we got in Jenny's Countdown to Christmas box on day 5. We got the quilting and crafting spray and the iron cleaner. So I have my iron heating up per the instruction on this. It seems a little bit dangerous for the how to use the iron cleaner. I have never used one before, so it may be typical, but I feel like turning it on and getting it really hot to clean it seems like I'm gonna burn myself. But the quilting and crafting spray, I misted a fat quarter to see how well it does on that. And then I also sprayed the seam of one of the hourglass blocks I am working on for a project. I often will spray my yardage and fat quarters with a spray starch, iron it, and then if I really need a seam to lay really flat, I will spray the seam as well. So I'm going to kind of test both ways that I often use a spray like this to see how it works. So as my other iron warms up, I have my other one going. So I'm going to go ahead and press the fat quarter and the seam of this block. Now I'm going to press a seam that I did not spray with the spray as well, just so we can kind of see the difference too. So let's take a look. All right, so here's the fat quarter, and one thing I really liked about this particular spray bottle, which it has a different nozzle on the one that you can purchase online that I found. So I'm not sure if it's exactly like this one. I do like this one a lot though, because it misted out nice and wide. It didn't concentrate any spray in a particular area. So I really liked that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press this fabric, see how it seems to do. Filming over here, I just have this small pressing area, so it might take me a minute, but it is getting that crease out really nicely. Sometimes I use my easy press, heat press, for bigger things like this, because then I can work through it a lot faster and I'm less likely to like iron like I move around so much. I just kind of set the press down and move around, but this does seem to be getting the creases out quite nicely. I do want to see though, like fold it and finger press and see how stiff it is. But I do think it is working to get these wrinkles out really nicely. I like that it doesn't have a scent. I don't smell anything. Some of the scents I have purchased of like the flatter spray or the best press is really strong. And sometimes if I'm spraying a lot of stuff, it just really starts to bother my nose. And I think you can buy all of those unscented too. So, but sometimes I do like the smell, but sometimes it can be a little overpowering. So I do think it did a great job on getting all of the creases out. I am going to let this cool a little bit and then see how stiff it is for finger pressing or something like that. All right, so it's a little bit cool now. So I'm just going to kind of finger press up in this corner along here, and that kind of tells me how stiff that is. And it's not going pretty flat, but it does have a little bit of give to it. It pressed a nice crease through here. So I think it will work well for a spray. Like I like to use a starch especially if I'm going to do a quilt as you go, where I can kind of finger press it over and keep adding the next strip. This seems like it'll work. It would work pretty well for that. And I did a light mist. It does say that you can layer it on to get stiffer fabric as well, but I'm pretty impressed by it so far. The one test is going to be doing the seam though, because for some blocks, especially like this, I really like these seams to lie nice and flat. Let's see on this one. So this one is the one that I sprayed, and this one is the one that I did not spray, but this fabric is treated with a starch, the flatter spray, because I've been working on this project for a few days now. So it does have an initial spray on it, just so you know, but this one has been sprayed particularly along the seam. So for this project, I've been pressing open. So did get a little flat. My seams do tend to get nice and flat if I'm pressing open a lot flatter, but this, you can tell that it did get a lot flatter. Hopefully you can see it on camera, but that's pretty impressive, I personally think. I mean, it got it so flat, you can kind of see the indent on the seam on the other side. So, yeah, that worked really well. Let me try and get it at a different angle for you so you can kind of see. I don't know, you can see the seam kind of comes away from the fabric along there, and this lays nice and flat. So I give the quilting and crafting spray, I give it a thumbs up. I think it works really, really well. I would probably definitely buy some more of it when I run out, and it'll definitely be something that I keep in my sewing space. So let me know what you think. I think it worked really well. So my old iron that I used a lot, I actually really love this iron. It's a Rowenta. I don't use it as much anymore because it is really big and heavy, and it has a cord. I really like my cordless one so that I can move around my sewing space and not be tied to an outlet. But I have it heating up, like it said. Have a cloth here. It does recommend having a 100% cotton cloth. I don't have one that I could find that I'd be willing to use for putting on this hot iron. So I just got one of my microfibers that is really soft, and I think, you know, I think that should be okay. I'm actually kind of nervous to do it as it says, because this iron's heating up, and yeah, but it says to put about 2 inches of this stuff on, and it has a protective cover. So let me get that off. Sorry that I keep sniffling, but we are still getting over having the flu, and I still have a lot of congestion. I'm doing a lot better, but still have a lot of congestion. So now I have it opened up. It says to put some directly on the iron. It is a weird color. It is kind of like a tan color. Not that that matters, but I just, for some reason, I thought it was going to come out like a white. Okay, so it just says to go small circular motion across here. Like I said, the iron is hot. That buildup on the side came off really fast. I don't feel the heat through this yet, so I'm trying to work fast because I don't want to burn my hand. You can see the steam coming off here. I probably should technically be going in smaller circular motions, but I'm wanting to go fast because this just seems dangerous to me. I can start to feel it getting a little warm through the cloth, but not hot. I did see all of that residue come off on the sides. You can see, I don't know if that's dirt from the iron or if it's just that stuff being kind of, you know, like being left on my cloth. I'm going to get another side because it says to use a clean side to get the residue off. I mean, I think it cleaned off the stuff on there, but I'm also, it's not that I don't think the iron cleaner works or anything. What I typically do when you can see the smoke probably still coming by me from the iron. What I typically do when I clean my iron, and I don't know if it's the proper way, it's just what I've always done, is if I notice stuff getting on it, I just use like a microfiber cloth like this and some water, and it usually comes off pretty easily. I've never had anything so stuck on that I couldn't just clean it off with water and a microfiber rag. There's probably other ways to do it. I don't think anything's wrong with the cleaner, but oh my gosh, it is really steaming. Let me unplug this. It's really smoking. So yeah, I think it worked fine. It got all that residue off. I do just think that it probably would have came off with water in the cloth as well too. You know, I know I have got like interfacing and stuff stuck on my iron, and that is a little bit harder to get off with just water and the cloth. So maybe I'll give it a try again if I get something like that on my iron and give it a go. There's a nice amount in here. I think it'll last me a while because I don't really get my iron really gummed up a lot. But, you know, when I do happen to get that kind of stuff on it, I'll give it a try. And if I do, I will give an update as well. I really, really liked the quilting and crafting spray though. I thought this stuff was really, really great, and it is something I will definitely buy again. If you've tried these two products, let me know what you think of them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm gonna figure out why this iron keeps smoking. I may not have wiped off all the cleaner, so let me do that. All right, you guys, I hope you like this little review, and if you didn't get either of these products in the Jenny's box and you are just happening across this in CM, let me know what you think. Are they something that you would buy? I am curious to know. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.